Hi, I am Lindsay Jew, and today we're here for an episode of Crypto Jew. I have a special guest, Munair Simpson.
Hi everyone, nice to be here. Thanks Lindsay for inviting me.
Yeah, thank you so much for coming. And today we're just going to talk a little bit about security. We're going to talk about how to tiptoe into blockchain and how to buy your first cryptocurrency, and a security feature that you're going to want to know more about so you don't lose that money.
That's correct.
Right?
Yes.
All right, hold on to your wallets. Here we go, guys. So Munair and I started working together back in summer 2017 when crypto was hot in Korea.
That's right. It's still hot in Korea.
It's still hot, and it's been a journey.
It has been, and over that time, I've learned a lot from the very first days, and it's really good to be here.
I know, remember when we were investing in our first ICO?
Exactly.
We're investing in our first ICO, and then you're Jamaican and I'm a US citizen, so I'm like, where can I invest and it be okay? Because, you know, it's a security, so I was blocked from a lot of ICO investments. And I only found like this sketchy real estate company, and I invested $25 US, I think, in the form of Bitcoin, and I lost all that. Nobody ever heard from that ICO project again.
But it was good. It was that's the kind of thing that I know some people might object, but I really want to encourage you and everybody that's watching this program to do the same thing, because it's an experience. I'm not saying to go out and put your life savings into an investment scheme, but it's a very good idea to like look at some projects, evaluate them, and say, hey, you know what? Maybe I can put $20 in it. What is that, like a couple days of coffee? So it's not like a huge investment, not a big risk, but it allows you to participate in this very amazing economy that's coming up and support some good projects. And there are a lot of really good projects out there. So I think that was a very, very good thing that we did, and I learned a lot from it. I went on to invest in others, and it's been really good watching the market go up and then go back down again. It was a little bit not so good, but
but it's fun, huh?
Yes, it is, and it's good to learn every step of the way. We all have the chance to improve our knowledge and what's happening in crypto and just in investing and in trading in general.
And how do you improve your knowledge?
So you have to do a lot of reading, but I like Medium. I think Medium is a great medium actually for learning a lot about crypto. A lot of projects will actually have their CEOs or very knowledgeable people go up and write information about their project. So
you like Medium more than Steemit?
Yes, I like Medium more than Steemit, and I used Steemit at first, but I gravitated more towards the Medium blog because if you look, most crypto projects, they always have a Medium page, and that Medium page is very, very important, and it's very important for every investor because you want to be able to get as much information about the project as possible. And you never want to invest in a project that is not willing to disclose information. So it's really good to go out and be a part of the Medium community. They will post information and people can ask questions. You can see in the comment sections the questions that the general community has about the project. You can see some tough questions sometimes, and then you can see how the CEO or the founder of the company responds. And all of that provides a lot of information to you about the project. So
I think you're right. Medium, it's great because it's strategic, but it's also very transparent because you can't just hide behind a tweet or a complete avatar.
Exactly.
You really get to see into the minds and hearts of what people are thinking. And you can see right away, you know, in an 800, let's say it's 800 words.
Yes.
If they know what they're talking about or not.
Exactly. So it's very good. It's always with investing, there are problems with information asymmetry. All that means is just that the people who are in the project, they know more than the people who are outside of the project. So for example, if we're doing this show, we know more about the show and the lighting and everything in the show than you in the audience, and that's an information asymmetry. But when you're investing, you want to have as much information about the project as the people inside. So Medium allows that to kind of bubble to the surface. It's not perfect, but it's one outlet, and I think for the wild west of crypto, as we are in that stage right now, it's a very good medium.
Okay, great tip for our viewers. Check out Medium. Yeah, so the next thing that I wanted to talk about is security. I think blockchain, people are like, okay, why would I use blockchain? It seems like a scam, right? So I think people use blockchain because there is an effort for more security, more transparency, and the immutability on blockchain. Immutability is just a fancy word for like not being able to change the transactions after they've occurred.
That's correct.
So what have you been seeing, Moon? What's going on in security? What can we tell our viewers today?
Actually, I think security is really important, and I think there's been some kind of a hesitation from the broader community to adopt cryptocurrencies. And I understand that. I was in Oakland the other day and I was hanging out with my friends and in California, baby, and we're all super ghetto there. I mean, like, no, I mean.
That's what Oakland's known for, but the Raiders aren't going to be there anymore. So it's like, I don't know, it's just on the edge of East Bay.
Yeah, it's good. I mean, I love the place. Oakland's
I can say that because I lived in East Bay. I lived in Dublin.
There you go. So it's very close by. But I was spending a lot of time with my friends in Oakland, and they like heard of Bitcoin, but they're all like afraid to jump in. They're like, well, how do we get started? And I had to take the time to explain to them, okay, this is Coinbase, and here's a wallet, and this is how you can buy cryptocurrencies.
And really, what are their demographics? Like, how old are they? Like, what have they been, industries that they've been working in?
We're talking ages between 20 to up to 40, 45.
Okay.
I have a good range of friends, and sometimes even more, but this specific demographic, I would say, is between 25 and 45.
Okay, in Northern California, yeah. I would say pretty, like, educated area.
So, these are not my San Francisco friends. So I have two bunch of friends in the Bay Area, right? I have.
Of course you do. I would expect nothing less.
I have my Oakland friends who are like they're like my bench. We call it in Jamaica bench and body. Like we're so close.
Bench and body. Okay.
Yeah, we're so close. And then I have my friends in San Francisco, and my friends in San Francisco are more sophisticated in their profile.
Silicon Valley type.
So yeah, they're Silicon Valley type. They're all like computer scientists, and they all have like amazing degrees. They all went to Stanford or Berkeley. I don't have I don't have to explain anything to those guys. They get it. Actually, I do have to explain a little bit to my Wharton friends because they're kind of more conservative. Mm-hmm. But that's a very special part of the U.S. population, so I'm not including them in my.
So your bench and body friends, you're explaining like starting from the ground up, like what is crypto?
Yes. So it's more the segment of the population, I think, that doesn't have a degree in computer science, that doesn't understand information systems, that don't understand investment.
Mm-hmm,
right?
The every person, yeah.
Yeah, so it's more about reaching out to them and explaining to them how to do it. And it's amazing, Lindsay, you have to do a lot to explain to them about security because they don't know. They don't know about second factor authentication. They don't know about private keys. And when you start talking about things like this, and it overwhelms everybody. I'm sure even now some people are like, well, second factor authentication.
Yeah, 2FA.
Yeah, what is that, right? But there are many things you need to do when you start to look into crypto. The first thing you should probably do.
Yeah, let's tell people the
first thing you should probably do is tiptoe into the water. And what I mean by tiptoe into the water is, say you want to like understand a little bit about what Bitcoin actually is. You don't want to take like the $100,000 your grandmother gave you and put it into Bitcoin. If that's all the money you got, you never ever want to do that. What you might want to do is say open an account on Coinbase and put $10 in.
If you're a U.S. citizen, it's very easy. Upload your driver's license or your passport, and you can open an account.
Exactly.
I think you can link up either your credit card or your checking account.
Exactly. Very easy to do, and then you can make a small deposit, and then you can start sending some fractions of Bitcoin back and forth between.
And there are many wallets. It doesn't have to be Coinbase. It could be BRD. It could be Bitcoin.com.
Right.
Edge.
It can be Gemini too. Gemini has an app for the phone.
Yeah, they're all apps, mobile applications. Right?
And you have also like Kraken is available. Kraken is a US based organization too. Kraken's great actually. I think they're probably a little better than Coinbase at the moment. But like this is kind of like tiptoeing in. After, I would say you're playing around, you've done the transactions, and you're like, oh, this technology is cool. And maybe you've purchased something with Bitcoin, and you start to understand, oh, I can use this now as a form of money. It's actually what Bitcoin is supposed to be, right? It's peer-to-peer cash. So after you've understood that and the fundamentals of that, you want to move to the next level, which is like, what else is out there? So then you might tiptoe into Ethereum or some other what they call altcoin, which is just any coin that's not Bitcoin. And when you start to get into that level of tiptoeing, you might need to branch away from Coinbase and the Coinbase wallet, because you're looking at assets that are on blockchains that are not so popular like Bitcoin. Bitcoin is on over 100 different exchanges across the world. Say if you wanted to get into some other smaller coins, then you need to have better understanding of the technology. So the first thing you need to do is to understand you have to take your asset and put it in a wallet, right? And all the wallet's going to do is just sign your transaction, okay? And it signs it with your private key. And private key is this long hash, and it's very scary to look at. If you've never seen a hash before, you're like, oh my God, right? You know. But there are technologies out there that make it easy to understand how to do this safely.
Okay.
And I wanted to talk about some of them. So
let me just recap here for everyone.
Yeah.
So first point and the first step, if you're going to tiptoe into crypto, which we recommend, is to open up a wallet, and that could be on a mobile application. And if it's on this mobile app, like we just named, Kraken, Coinbase, BRD, Bitcoin.com, Edge, Gemini, any of those wallets, and it's on your mobile application, that would be a hot wallet, right?
that's correct. So that's the very good term. That's hot. That's hot. Okay.
Okay, so let's dig into that a little more.
Why is it called hot? Hot, it means that actually your private key is accessible at that point to anybody on the internet. So not saying, and God forbid it happens to you, but like your phone might be compromised, or your whatever your wallet's on. It can also be on your Mac. It can be on any device that's connected to the internet. Once you're connected to the internet, you're hot, one, and two, you're they call it an attack vector, but basically you're on the internet and someone can go in and take away your private key. When they have your private key, they have your Bitcoin or whatever cryptocurrency you have in your wallet. The private key is what makes the currency, whether it's Bitcoin or Ethereum, yours. So you never want to really have too much wealth in any of those hot devices, any like the phone or your computer.
Okay, gotcha.
So you
Very
want
good to know.
something cold, ice cold.
Ooh, ice cold on these hot summer days. How do we get to the ice cold, man?
Okay, so the most popular method out there, and it's the most widely supported, I think, like hardware wallet, is this bad boy right here. It's the Ledger. Right. So basically, it's this little device here. It's kind of iconic now, and it flips open.
Yes, the Ledger, I feel like, is just like the gold standard right now of what people are talking about. Like, it's synonymous right now with cold wallet is, do you have your Ledger?
Right.
Put that on Ledger, man.
So this is the Nano S. And
I have a Nano S as well.
And I have a Nano S. So why you guys want to have one of these is simply because it's not connected to the internet. All it's for is to authenticate the transaction that you're going to do. So it's very important to get one of these if you're going to do any sizable investing into cryptocurrency. You want to tether it to your machine using this cable, right? So you plug it in. It's just basically one of your USB cables, and you plug it into your computer, and you're good to go. I think this is great, but there's some things that are annoying for me.
I think it has some fallbacks personally because I've used it and I worked in tech in Silicon Valley, and it's not as user friendly.
No,
as it
it's
could
not
be.
user friendly at all.
Because I've helped people set up their wallets, and you're not used to just communicating with two buttons.
Yeah.
And you do have to download an application locally to your computer for it to talk to your computer because it's not online, right? And so, that's not inherent. You think like, oh, I just plug it in and it's good to go. No, but no, you actually have to have an internet connection at one point to download. Yeah, and then you toggle.
These are the two buttons that she's talking about. Basically, you have to go back and forth on the bytes, moving up or down the numbers, and you have to I think it's 6 different numbers.
And then you have to be confident, like, oh, am I pressing at the same time? You had to do some of that, so it has some limitations. I will say that it's maybe the most known cold wallet and trusted in the marketplace at this point in time.
But I want to present a better solution, I think. And this, this I came across just the other day. This is actually Korean engineering, and you can see immediately the device is a lot more.
It looks like Samsung-esque, you know, just like holding it, the feel, the particular font that they used, premium security. Okay.
It feels nice in your hand.
Okay.
And it's got a very regular, like if you guys can throw your minds back to when the first iPod came out. I know that was a long time ago, and maybe there might be people here who've never used an iPod, right?
The whole like wheel on
That's right. So it looks like it's got the wheel of the iPod, but basically it's just a control pad, right? Up and down, left and right, okay and exit. And it's much more intuitive to use, I find. Also, the key feature about it is that I don't need to always enter my PIN. It has in the middle of it, right in the middle of the dial pad, fingerprint recognition. Okay, so it's biometric, and that makes it easy. I just turn on my device, I put my thumb on it, and then boom, it goes. I mean, I can demonstrate to you how easy it is. So,
and this is called?
So this is called the Dcent Wallet. This is the Dcent Wallet. It is decent. I like the name. Made right here in Korea, and it's done down in Dcent, and amazing team there. I met the CEO and founder the other day. Wonderful guy.
And they're not sponsoring this episode, by the way. This is something that Munair has found just in Korea and finds that it's easier to use than
really amazing
than most.
I think you guys want to do it. You have to hold the button on the right hand side for like 2 seconds, and then after you do that, the screen comes alight. 1, 2, 3, 4. Actually, it's 4 seconds, and then my screen comes alight. It prompts you for your fingerprint. So my fingerprint is in there. It says scan fingerprint, and as immediate as I have to put my thumb in there, I can see all my assets. Right, and I can scroll through my assets. I have like Bitcoin, Ethereum, an ERC20 token, RSK, right? It's a whole bunch of different assets, you know, down to Ripple, if you like Ripple, Monocoin, and for those of unfortunate people who use EOS, we got EOS there too, okay? And then there's a settings section where you can actually like connect to your device. But let me back up a little bit because I talked about all these different assets.
Yeah,
I don't want to overwhelm.
I think what I'm following is that this is another option to store. Let's say you have Bitcoin. Okay, let's just take it. If you have Bitcoin or an altcoin or an alternative currency other than Bitcoin, you can use this device to store it. It's easy because it's the screen toggling that you're familiar with the iPad. Do you have to plug that into your computer, or can you just work it all here?
This is the cool thing about it. So like I can see my assets on the screen. What assets are just a fancy word for saying what your cryptocurrency is. Cryptocurrency is an asset like cash. Cash is an asset. So I can see my assets. In this case, I have a certain amount of Ethereum here. And I can see the address of this, my public key, basically. Public key is how to send funds to me on this device. So I can click OK, and then it will actually give me the digits. Takes a little while, like 4 seconds again. So it'll give me the string. And then if I click it again, it goes processing. Takes another 4 seconds, I think. And then it will give me a QR code. And boom, there's my QR code. So like
that's your QR. So if I'm going to send you money, I take out my mobile device here, and then I say send, and then I just scan it over there.
And then boom, and then you have my public key. That public key is just it's like my email address.
How do you send me money?
So now for me to send money to you, I actually need to use my mobile device. And why we need the mobile device is because to send any transaction, we actually have to go back and connect to the internet. So
send me the money, man.
So you have to remember, the thing about hard wallets is that they're not actually connected to the internet, so they can't do it by themselves. They always need another device.
It's interesting because it's easy for me to send you money. A little, like one extra step for you to send me money, huh?
Yes.
That's a security input right there.
Yes. And you can tether the device with either. I have 2 phones. That's really gangster. I know. I have my iOS device and I have my Samsung. But since we're in Korea,
you're versatile.
Yeah, man. Since we're in Korea, we'll use Korean tech, which is all good. This is my Dcent Wallet. This is my amazing $45 balance. Right? So now if I wanted to send money to Lindsay, I just click on this button here, send. And I can do that because
I'll hold it for you.
yeah, I can do that because this device is actually connected to the internet, right? Before I can actually send any amount of Ethereum to my friend, I actually need to go back to this device here and authenticate it. So here we go. Yeah, so here are my assets and here's my wallet. So you need both of them for you to be able to send any amount of your assets to another person. So like if I want to send, I click on send, I'll have to get her address, right? I can enter it in manually, which you don't want to do. I want to scan, so I hit the little camera icon, right? And it'll allow me to scan, so it's allowing me to scan, but I don't have her device right now. So, but basically once the information is input, it's gonna prompt me to authenticate with this device. Authenticate means just prove that you are the owner of the asset, and this is the device that allows me to do it.
If people aren't in Korea, where can they get the Dcent?
Just go to idcent.io.
Okay.
It's a website, idcent.io, and then you can order it there. Not so sure what the price is. It's like I think it's $160 now.
Okay.
So it's up there with the price of like a Trezor. Trezor is another hard wallet, and it's more expensive than the Nano S. And if it's not so there's no E in the Dcent, so it's IDCENT.
Okay, I'll put it up. I'll put the address up.
So when you think of there we go. There's the device. So when you think of this Dcent wallet, think of D and then cent. Okay, that's actually how it's branded. So it's pretty cool. There's all the information about how you can order and everything on that website. It's gonna cost you a little bit more than the Nano S, which is probably half the price. But if you're like really cool, you'll want to do this. It's not just really about coolness. I kind of got into this, Lindsay, to be honest, because I do a little bit of trading. And if any of you are at home watching this and you trade, you really want to use this over the ledger, because every time you want to authenticate or authorize or release my funds to trade, I have to go back to the ledger, I have to plug it into my computer, and I have to go toggle back and forth all these times, right, when the market's moving and the market's moving fast. So I like Dcent because I think of Dcent as like, you know, like in America we have what's the name of the outlaw? He's up in Wyoming. I'm forgetting his name now.
I don't associate with outlaws.
This is back in the day.
With criminals.
Anyway, if you guys watch a lot of westerns, it's really good to watch them.
Okay.
The gunslingers, the best ones, were quickest on the draw.
Okay.
And that's how they survived back then.
Butch Cassidy?
Yeah, like those guys in the
Okay.
Sundance Kids. So basically, I'm on the draw with my Dcent, and I can trade faster. So it's just like my thumb, authenticate, boom, funds transferred, I'm good to go. I can go back to trading. I don't have to go back and forth. So I really like this solution, and that's why I kind of wanted to talk a little bit about it today and share my thoughts with you, and hopefully everybody will give it a try.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
It is, we will put the website up so you can see the link, but it is $159 US right now, so you can see that online. Do you have any stories that you want to share? Like any crazy, they don't have to be your own personal stories. It could be, in the marketplace of either like a reason to use a hard wallet? Yeah, let's get a good story. I see you smiling.
I'm smiling because I've lost money. I'll tell you.
Personal.
So no one's ever stolen my money yet, and I do a lot of security layers to prevent anything from happening, right? But the problem is with devices and technology like this, because there's so many steps to do. When you're trading and the blood is pumping in your veins and you're ready to move, it's very easy to make a mistake, Lindsay. So I remember one time I was trading and I was like fumbling around with my device, and I put in 2 zeros extra, okay, which should have had a dot in front of those 2 zeros.
Oh, no.
So I ended up trading an extra large amount of money or amount of asset, and to this day I still have to be like, oh man, that was really not what I wanted to do. So I because of that experience, I want to make using cryptocurrencies and the whole process of authenticating, the whole process of trading, buying and selling cryptocurrencies as easy to use as possible. It's not because I can't do it, I'm very competent. It's just that sometimes, even though you've done it 100 times, there's that chance that you will make a mistake.
Yeah.
So the easier the process is, the lower the chance that you will actually make a mistake.
Yeah.
And that's really all you want to do. So like everything I always do is I'm trying to make sure the next time I'm doing it more efficiently and more safely, and I find this device allows me to do that.
Great. All right. Thanks, Munair. I appreciate these insights. Guys, if you're gonna take one step today, it's to go online, download a mobile app, get, let's say $5.
$5 is a good start.
Cup of coffee in Korea, okay? $5. Grab some Bitcoin. I recommend Bitcoin. You could choose an altcoin like Ethereum, XRP, EOS, what have you. But, buy something, see how it feels. And then once you have more than that cup of coffee, transfer that over to a hard wallet like what Munair is recommending today with Dcent. All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I am Lindsay Jew, Crypto Jew. This has been Munair Simpson.
Thanks for having me, Lindsay. It's really good to hear.
Yeah, really good today. So thanks for watching, guys. And y'all remember, jump on the block. Bye.